So let's get into my 6 simple steps to overcome overeating. And this is stuff that I've really been working on with my clients. So you're really getting a lot of value here today. And I've obviously come up with the acronym ZOMBIE because why not? But the first one is, we'll go through the slides. The first one is zapping food thoughts. So obviously often we start thinking about food first thing in the morning. And the reason for this is either because we're making up for things, that's how we've gone wrong throughout the day, or we have, we've just been so hungry. You know, some people go on really strict fasts, and that's all they can think about. So starting your day right with energizing foods, first of all. So making sure you get loads of water, but also making sure that you give your body the nourishment it needs to carry on through the day. It knows it's going to be full of stress. It knows you're going to be stressing about getting the kids to school already. So making sure that you can prepare your food at night already, your breakfast, but make sure that you have that beautiful meal that makes you feel fantastic and energized. Having a morning mindset that gives you a space that you can continue throughout the day. So shifting, the minute you start hearing that old pattern of thinking of food or correcting food or food guilt, shifting that away and focusing on things that you really want to feel. And that's really important, because if we are really in that guilt mindset, how are you going to feel the rest of the day? It's just going to drag you down. And then throughout the day, not going hungry. And again, this is hunger, as I said, is one of the biggest causes of binging. So making sure you have meals and snacks that nourish you and that's energizing, not just any kind of foods. And with my clients, we figure out together what those are for them. So I don't tell you what's nourishing for you. I don't tell you what's energizing for you. That's something that your body will tell you, and that's something that you've always known. So next is overcoming nighttime eating. And this is dealing with your emotional triggers throughout the day. So as I said, there's so many emotions that go on through the day. We have this space where, and most of it is in fight or flight mode, because there is so much riding on us being successful at work. There's so much riding on us, you know, making sure that we keep the kids alive, or that we pay the bills at the end of the month. So most of our days are spent in stress. And obviously these emotional triggers lead to us eating, and especially at nighttime. And often we overeat at nighttime, and a lot, because we haven't dealt with what's going on for us during the day. And these can be small little check-ins during the day, little pause. Amy's on here. She does little mindful meditation sessions on her page, like every weekday, midday, little mindful meditations. You don't have to meditate. You can just breathe a couple of times. Actually just check in how you're feeling when you're sitting at your desk, just noticing, oh my gosh, my shoulders are a little bit tight, you know, and then figure out how you can honor making it feel better later. Obviously you can't go and do a stretch class or get a massage while you're at work, but taking note of that, and then instead of stressing about things at home, sorting yourself out with those little things, that little bit of self-care will really just help you overcome nighttime eating. And next is managing your anxiety around food. So food is the number 3 substance that keeps us alive. So first of all is oxygen. Without that, we will die within a couple of minutes. Then obviously water. Without that, we probably have a day or two. And then food. We can probably go probably 3 to 5 days in a maximum severe starvation setting without food. But we don't deny ourselves oxygen. If we did, we would be in the same position. We would become anxious about oxygen. We don't deny ourselves water. But we seem to deny ourselves food because we've made it such a big enemy. And like from a survival, that very primitive brain perspective, it really starts to mess with our survival instincts when we place such rigorous restrictions on food, and it can make us extremely anxious. So first of all, there's anxiety for general life, and then we add extra anxiety on top of that because of what we've eaten, or because we've, you know, oh my gosh, we didn't have time tonight, so I went through the Macca's drive-through. Is that one meal gonna kill you? No. You know, is it the best decision you've ever made? You know, no. Could you have prepared something? Maybe, but this is the best you can do for right now. And accepting that you're doing the best you can, you know, and just eating that meal, enjoy it. You know, it's going to be not what you planned, but then we sit there and we eat that Macca's meal with guilt. And you know what happens to guilt? It triggers more overeating. It triggers more urges to overeat. Self-sabotage. So recognizing like the self-sabotaging thoughts comes from recognizing these little discussions that happen in your thought patterns. And once you start recognizing them, you are able to actually start rationalizing with them, because they're going to say to you, oh, you know, you have to eat this cake because your life depends on it. And all these years you've been listening to that, but you can get to a point where you can actually rationalize with it and go, is that true? Like, will I really, like, is my life really depending on eating this piece of cake? You know, but that comes with practice, and that comes with actually realizing that those thoughts are there. Because often we just, most of my clients go, well, I don't know, I just overate, I just binged, I don't understand how that happened. Meanwhile, this thought has probably been like running in your mind the whole day. Number two, with self-sabotage. Self-sabotage comes along when you are not making yourself a priority, when you're not putting in the self-care, when you're not adding to investing in yourself a little bit. And there's always been this saying about, you know, when you climb onto a plane, they do the safety instructions. And the first thing they say to you is, make sure that if anything happens, the oxygen mask falls down, make sure that you first put your oxygen mask on before you help others. So making yourself a priority is your oxygen mask. It helps you to actually become, you know, just aware of who you are, nourishes you so that you can take care of others. Ignoring old food and body rules. So this is a big one, and this stems from what the media has told us. You know, that like little gossip magazine that my mom used to read, like would have the latest diet in it with such and such celebrity who has lost X amounts of kilos or pounds. And this is the praise that came with, you know, losing that weight is also a food rule or a body rule that's been put in place for us, is you have to be of this figure shape to be, you know, accepted in society. And that's where often we start realizing that, oh, my body is not like Claudia, oh, I can't remember her surname now, but like, you know, my figure is not like Kate Moss's figure. So clearly I'm not going to be successful in life. That's why I need to eat, like, you know, like go on diets so that I can be skinny and be accepted in society. So if you want to really overcome all that, you need to let go of those food rules. You need to let go of the sugar is poison sagas that everyone has spread there, because again, that's what makes you feel like you are in food prison, because you keep thinking of sugar because you're not allowed to have it. And then the last step is enjoying food freedom, where you are finally normal around food. You allow foods into your life, like my peanut butter and Nutella. You don't feel guilty around eating it, but you're also able to choose the foods that are healthy, because that's what your body needs. That's what your body craves. And from an intuitive perspective, this morning I asked my body, what do you want for breakfast? And obviously I needed to give her a couple of options, but like from a chemical reaction perspective, I'm so in tune with what my body tells me now. I was able to pick up, yeah, I need some eggs this morning with a beautiful green juice, you know, which normally I wouldn't have, because my diet has told me, oh no, you can just have oxygen and some strawberries for breakfast. So just really having a healthy relationship and a neutral relationship with food. It shouldn't be such a big thing. It should just literally be, I've eaten a sandwich, let's carry on with our day. Not, oh my God, I've eaten a sandwich.